guys, welcome back to another beer review. Today we're checking out one of the latest releases from Stone. This is their Xocoveza Extra Anejo. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I actually just reviewed this beer, and for whatever reason, the audio did not record and the video was, something was wrong with it. So I literally just talked for like 7 or 8 minutes about this beer and it didn't work. So the bottle's open. I have, just fuck, it sucks. But I'll do this again anyways, because why not? This is Xocoveza Mocha Stout that was aged in red wine and tequila barrels. The red wine barrels they used were Bordeaux wine barrels, and then the tequila barrels were Extra Anejo barrels. I don't know what brand of tequila it was, it doesn't say. But I was a big fan of the original Xocoveza. Chris Banker brewed it for the Stone home brewing competition and won, and then they ended up brewing that beer and then bottled it. So I didn't get any bottles of it when it was released for whatever reason. I'm not sure why I didn't get any bottles, but I did have it on draft a couple times and I really enjoyed it. It was brewed like in the vein of Mexican hot chocolate. It was very chocolatey. It was very, there was lots of vanilla notes, cinnamon. It was a crazy cool beer. And I think a lot of people dug it, to be honest with you. I know I did. So they basically took it. There's 2 different versions of this. This is the Extra Anejo version. There's also a version called Charred, which they aged in bourbon barrels. They did the initial release of this, I think like a month ago, and it sold out instantly around San Diego. They actually only did it at the Stone stores. At every single store like sold out that same day. So didn't get my hands on that release. They just released the Extra Anejo again this past weekend, so I went down and grabbed a bottle because I wanted to review it. I've kind of heard hit and miss things about this, just from people checking it on Untappd. Either they hate it or they love it. I will say when I opened this, it was literally one of the biggest pops on a cork of a bottle I've ever had. It actually, I was laughing because it scared me when I pulled the cork out. It was nuts. It was like champagne. It was crazy. So there was mentions of carbonation issues, like it being overcarbonated. So I wanted to say that since you guys didn't hear me open the bottle on camera or see me open the bottle on camera. So we'll go ahead and pour this. This is 11.3% alcohol by volume, and according to the back of this bottle, it was bottled July of 2015. So this is already 3 months old, time of recording. So I wanted to get the pour on camera so you guys can see it. It pours like a super clear brown, and you can see the head from just that little pour right there. It's like a cola kind of a head. It was crazy. When I first poured this, it was even like crazier than that. It was like a almost 3-finger head from when I started pouring. But the head actually, it sounds like a cola. It's like snapping and crackling like a soda that you would pour. It pours out really light brown, but in the glass it looks pitch black. Looks like a killer stout in the glass. So like I said, 11.3% aged in red wine and tequila barrel. So let's go ahead and stick our nose in it. Yeah, right away you get, it's like a charred oak. Like if you were to take a piece of wood and like take a torch to it, like when you smell firewood burning, it's like that crazy charred oak just right immediately. And then you get like this crazy, and I'm saying this because I already smelled this beer for like 2 minutes before my last thing. So you get like a crazy tannic red wine note, which is nuts. Like I know it was aged in red wine barrels, but for how dominant it is on the nose of this beer, it's like, it's not like sticking your nose in a glass of red wine, but it is very red wine forward. There's like a peppery thing going on. I think this was brewed with chilies. It's like pepper skins. And then there's like a tequila note on the very underneath part of that, underneath the back end of that aroma. I never know what to say about that. Underneath all of that, at the very end of what you're smelling, is there's like a tequila note. But if you ever had Lost Abbey's Agave Maria, that's like crazy tequila forward. It's that same note that you get from that beer, but this is like way muted. So it's just super charred oak, very tannic red wine. You get like pepper skins, and then there's some tequila like underneath all that stuff. So I'm not getting any of the chocolate that I got on the base beer. I'm not getting any of the cinnamon, any of the vanilla, none of that. So it's kind of a bummer. I don't know if the barrels, just putting this in barrels, it just kind of, it took all the, you know, the characteristics of the barrels that it was in and kind of took the other aromas out. But yeah, very, very tannic, very charred oaky, and some tequila in there with like those pepper skins. So let's go and check this out. Cheers. Yeah, this beer is so overcarbonated, it's crazy. It is so effervescent on your tongue, and for an imperial stout, it's really like fucking with my brain. And it is so red wine forward, it's crazy. It's like taking sips of a glass of red wine. The tannins, the red wine, like that charred oak that you get on the nose, it's all present. Middle of the mouth, it's super, super bitter, like bitter roasted malts. It's not coffee bitterness, it's just like roasted malt bitterness, if that makes sense. And then on the finish of that, you get like that slight kind of twinge of tequila note, but you smell it much more than you taste the tequila. This is very red wine dominated, which I wish there was more tequila, and I wish there was more of the base beer that came through. 11.3%. The mouthfeel on this is super thin. It's almost to the watery point, which is a bummer. Because when you're drinking imperial stouts almost to the 12% range, you want like that thick, sludgy, kind of fudgy mouthfeel, and this is super, super thin, and the carbonation it's actually off-putting. Yeah, it's just like it's so red wine forward, it's crazy. You're not getting any of the base beer, you're not getting any of the chocolate, you're not getting any of the vanilla, you're not getting any of the cinnamon, none of the nutmeg. The whole like Mexican hot chocolate thing, it's not there. You're getting the red wine up front, the tannins, like dark fruit skins, not even like dark fruits, it's like the grape skins. And then it's just like crazy bitter roasted malts that just kind of, it just stays on your tongue. And then you get like a tiny bit of tequila on the finish of that. But for what this was, for the hype behind it, for as fast as it sold out, and for the price, this bottle is $18. This one's just, it's not doing it for me at all, which is a bummer. That carbonation is just so off-putting to me. It's weird. It's almost like drinking a barrel-aged sour. It really is. It's so effervescent on my tongue. I'm drinking this cellar temperature. It's like 55 degrees. It was a cold, rainy day today when I was driving home. I was like, I feel like a stout. And I grabbed this yesterday and was really looking forward to it. But even the more that I talk and it's just sitting on my tongue, the bitterness is still there, and it literally feels like I'm drinking a glass of wine. I don't know. The chocolate's not there. The base beer is nowhere to be found. So this beer is a bummer for me. Xocoveza Extra Anejo. No idea what this gets. I haven't looked up the grades on Beer Advocate. I mean, I hate to say this, but I would not spend $18 on this bottle again. I wouldn't trade for it. I don't know, I wouldn't drink this again. It's kind of a mess for me. It's red wine, bitterness, and like a tequila finish. It's strange. It doesn't taste like Xocoveza, which is a bummer because I really, really like that beer. So I'm gonna go like 81 on this one, B-. I mean, it's not like horrible, but it's just, for the hype and the price, it's nowhere near what it should be for me. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this one up, guys. I'm bummed that my first video didn't record because I kind of got on a soapbox and like got mad, but it was weird having to do that again, knowing like ahead of time what I was gonna grade it and then having to talk about it again on camera. But yeah, if you guys have had this, let me know what you think. If you had the base beer, let me know what you think. I loved that beer. I mean, for me, I think I gave that beer when I checked it in like a 94. Really, really liked it, but it has fallen off big time. The barrels did nothing for me. The red wine, it's just, it's too much. It's not, the base beer is not there. Xocoveza, I can't find it in this beer. And it's even again, it's like drinking it's so fucking carbonated. I hate that. So yeah, 82 for me, B-. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's a bad bottle. This is straight hype train though. Flavor Flav. My man Eric knows all about that. So I'm out of here, guys. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you later.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games. Somebody like the Fuse, so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.